Welcome to this week's edition of Madisyn with the News. This week we're going to be talking about school closures and teacher shortages in Nevada.
While Nevada is not in the same exact position as Portland, the Nevada school districts are experiencing major staff shortages and have been for years. And staffing issues in the Las Vegas school areas have reached a critical point in the last few months. While schools have not been shut down, classes have been canceled or combined with other classes, making the problem much worse.
According to AP News, the Clark County School District and the Teachers Union represent about 18,000 licensed employees. These employees have been negotiating new contracts since late of March this year and have not yet come to an agreement with the district over issues such as pay, benefits, and working conditions. Unlike Portland teachers, it is actually illegal in the state of Nevada for teachers to go on strike. This makes it even harder for teachers to get the pay they deserve and explains why the Clark County School District has more than 1,400 vacant positions in its schools. Several factors contribute to the teacher shortage in CCSD, but the largest factor is lack of pay. I interviewed Jennifer McGuire, who has worked in the Clark County School District for 21 years, about the issues in the district. She says CCSD has not kept up with inflation, and in fact, due to the increase in our healthcare contribution to PERS, teachers are making less this year than they made last year. We are currently working without a contract because our superintendent refuses to pay teachers the raises they deserve with money that was set aside by our legislature. When you factor in inflation, the rising cost of healthcare with no raise in sight, it's difficult to keep the teachers you have and even more difficult to hire teachers. The Clark County School District proposed 3 new ideas to help keep teachers and students in school. According to AP News, the first idea is to shift all school start and dismissal times by 60 minutes. The second option is to make high school and elementary school start and dismissal times the same. And the final option is to combine the current 3-tier bell schedule to a 2-tier bell schedule. But these ideas come at a price for the school district. The first idea will cost CCSD no extra money, and the second and third option will cost the district anywhere from $11 to $100 million because of the need for more school buses. McGuire says that none of the issues on the agenda address the teacher shortage. She says, unfortunately, CCSD is a reactive school district. Instead of being proactive and taking care of the employees so that these shortages don't occur, they react by coming up with other strategies or solutions to put a Band-Aid on the problem instead of addressing the root issue. McGuire also says that shifting the school times will not help with the teacher shortage, and that this is a means of addressing transportation issues because they also cannot keep bus drivers employed. Keeping school bus drivers has also been a big issue in the county, with bus drivers oftentimes picking up students late or sometimes not showing up to their stops at all, leaving the students stranded and unable to attend school. But Clark County School District is not the only county in Nevada that's struggling. The facts are that every Nevada school district is having staffing issues. According to nsea-nv.org, there are fewer students in Nevada universities with education majors than there are with positions that need to be filled. Nevada possibly has the greatest percentage of unfilled positions in the nation. Alan Gum, a UniServe director for the Nevada State Education Association, says inflation is one of the many factors of teacher shortages. Gum says inflation, housing costs, lack of housing, fuel and energy costs, and food prices have skyrocketed, and the wages for teachers have not kept with the pace of today's inflation prices. In the last 2 years, teacher salary wages only increased by a 2% average. This year there was a larger increase in wages, but if there are no applicants, then the increased wages and incentives do not matter. But salary is not the only thing teachers are having issues with in Nevada. Gum explains that teachers also complain about crowded classrooms, lack of discipline support, extra duties due to lack of staff, and the need for a living wage. However, crowded classrooms seem to be a main concern for teachers. In most schools, when a teacher calls out, instead of the school canceling the class, they just combine it with another one. So now, instead of one overworked and underpaid teacher teaching 20 to 30 students, they are now teaching 40 to 60 students, while being paid the same wage. McGuire gave an example of what she's seen in schools in the Clark County School District who have no teachers but choose not to cancel classes or school. She says, sometimes substitute teachers are not available, so students are then placed in basically holding tanks like the theaters or gyms, being watched by a hall monitor just so they are not left unattended. As a result, they are missing out on important instructional time. Now, it all comes down to how the teachers in the Clark County School District are handling the staff shortages, low wages, and the fact that it is illegal for them to go on strike. In September of this year, teachers all over the Clark County School District decided to call out sick as a way to protest the low wages and poor working conditions, which resulted in school closures at 8 CCSD schools. The school district is now calling this the rolling sick out and is currently under investigation, and a case has been filed within the Nevada Supreme Court. According to KTNV Las Vegas, a Clark County judge issued an injunction against the teachers union for the unexpected staff shortages that caused multiple schools to close or combine classes. The injunction forced the teachers to stop their strike. Judge Crystal Eller says she found substantial evidence that these sicknesses were planned out. The evidence she based her decision on was the fact that the callouts were subjected in the four corners of the city. The teachers union filed an attempt to appeal the injunction that bars Clark County teachers from going on strike. The Clark County judge recognized the rolling sickouts to be a series of strikes and threatened that any further offenses of strikes, the offenders will be fined anywhere from $1,000 to $5,000. Gum says, while educators fought for the gains in legislature, the lawmakers decided to fund a professional baseball over the children in our state. The level of importance that is placed on education by parents, politicians, and economic leaders is going to predict the success of the students, the teachers, and the school system. If home runs are more important than graduation, then we only have ourselves to blame. And that's it for this week's edition of Madisyn with the News. Thanks for tuning in.